Tier lists are still cool, right? We can still do this. Okay, hi, it's me, Drizzle, and I am going to be doing a Warrior Cat book, Warrior Cat book tier list thing because I found it and I felt like it. So yeah, okay. They were originally all out of order and it really bothered me, so I put them in order. So I guess we're gonna start with the main series books and then do the mangas, then the novellas, then the super editions, and then all of these mangas down here I haven't read, so I just put them out of the way. So we'll just get right into it with Into the Wild, and I don't know what you want from me, but Into the Wild is just automatically gonna be SS. Like, I'm sorry. Into the Wild, just, you can't not put it at SS. And it's not even just because, like, I think the first 6 books are the best ones, even though they kind of are, but Into the Wild, it sets up the books so perfectly, and it does such a good job at its job. It keeps you invested and prepares you for the rest of the series, and it's not a very easy task, but it does it really, really well. So, yeah. Next is Fire and Ice, which is another. It's good. I liked it. I liked it a lot when I read it. Some of these books I haven't read since 4th grade, but I do remember loving Fire and Ice, especially Cinderpelt. Just Cinderpelt. She made me so sad. But that's good. It was good. Cinderpelt's little thing that happened to her, that was not good, of course, but it was really, really sad. And it made you feel, which is something these books are really good at. And usually, a lot of these books, when I put them in a high rank, it's just because they made me feel something. And it was like, whoa, I care about these fictional cats that live in a forest. Who knew? So next is Forest of Secrets, which gets an S because of Silverstream's death. I like sobbed as little 4th grade me, so that's pretty much it. That's the reason why I'm putting it there, because it's Forest of Secrets. I mean, that's the Silverstream Death book. That's the Graystripe and Silverstream book. And if I'm not wrong, I think that's also the book where Graystripe goes to RiverClan. That might be Rising Storm, but I remember I cried more at Graystripe going to RiverClan than I did Silverstream dying. And I cried pretty bad at Silverstream dying, so. Next, we've got Rising Storm, which gets another A. Yellowfang's death really hurt. I was not prepared for that. I wasn't. I didn't think they would kill Yellowfang, because she's so good. Yellowfang is so good. Like, they ruin her in every appearance after this book, Leafpool's Wish. So, just the fact that she dies, and the whole thing with Broken Star, that's really cool. I'm pretty sure she kills him in this book, if I'm not wrong. A Dangerous Path. This gets an S because I was so terrified the whole time they were like running with the dogs. I was so scared. Like, I was so invested. Just A Dangerous Path is really, really good. And of course, Blue Star's Death. I mean, it's Blue Star's Death. Like, I know that keeps being my reasoning. Like, my reason is because insert cat here died, but like, it's just so memorable and important that, like, I can't help but have a high opinion of the book because of the actions in the book. The Darkest Hour, probably just give it another SS because the battle with Blood Clan, Tiger Star's death, Scourge himself, Scourge, sorry. I mean, everything about the Dangerous Path, oh my god, Dangerous Path, the Darkest Hour, everything about the Darkest Hour was just intense. It suspended my disbelief. I was rooting for Firestar so hard, and Lion Clan was just wonderful. I loved that. I loved that book. I mean, it's the first series, so of course it's going to be nothing but praise, but don't worry, we'll get into tea later. So next we have Midnight, and Midnight is actually going to have to get a C from me because it is boring. Like, are you supposed to be interested in Brambleclaw? Like, okay, I never liked Brambleclaw. I just gotta say that. I didn't like Brambleclaw at the beginning. I hated him at the end, and I went back to just not liking him for the whole rest of the books. Like, they act like Bramble Star is the new, or not, Bramble, I'm sorry, I'm used to saying Bramble Star because I got into this fandom when A Vision of Shadows was coming out. But okay, Brambleclaw, they act like you're supposed to like him. Like, they act like he's the new Firestar. He has none of the redeeming, interesting, and slightly flawed qualities of Firestar. He's boring. He doesn't do anything interesting. He's like a camera all the time. And he has the whole, oh, am I gonna be evil? Am I gonna not be evil? Well, I guess you'll have to read and find out. But he keeps saying over and over, I'm not evil. And it doesn't make any sense. How are you supposed to wonder if he's evil or not when the books just keep saying, I'm not like my father. I'm not like Hawkfrost. Just because I'm getting training with my dad doesn't mean I'm like him. I remember being very, very frustrated with this book. And Twilight, same for... Actually, wait. Which book does Feathertail die in? Twilight or Starlight? I think it's Starlight. Oh my gosh. Why are all the names the same? Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Okay, so it is Moonrise that she dies. So, Moonrise is gonna get an A for Feathertails Death. It was heartbreaking. Crowfeather, he also broke my heart. Like, some people think that the Crowfeather and Feathertail thing was bad, but I liked it. I thought it was cute. Maybe it's because I was a 4th grader, but I did like it, so... Also, I love Squirrel Paw. Like, Squirrel Paw just totally made up for Brambleclaw. Like, I think they should have made Squirrel Paw the protagonist, because Brambleclaw, he was there to play off of Squirrel Paw, but she was just so much more interesting. And every time I went back to Brambleclaw's stupid inner monologues, I just wanted to see Squirrel Paw again. Dawn. Okay, this is the one where they get to the lake. And this gets an S just because I remember reading the last few pages where they get to the lake and she's looking at it and they're all just standing there. And she gets her warrior name, Squirrelflight, I think. That was just like, I saw that so vividly in my head when I read the books. And I was so proud of them, and I felt like the first 2 books being so annoying was worth it because they were here, and it was like, whoa, they're here. I was just like very happy. Starlight. I'm gonna give this a B because I don't remember anything special about Starlight. Like, I don't... Is that the one where they... Is this the one where they... No, it's not. Yeah, I don't even remember what happens in Starlight. That's probably bad, but yeah, that's the truth. Moving on to Twilight. This gets an A because Cinderpelt's death. Actually, okay. Here's the thing. Cinderpelt's death was really good, but I hate Leafpool's thing. I hate it so much, so I'm actually going to bring Twilight down to a B. It would have gotten an A, but Leafpool just has to ruin everything, so. Sunset, that's an S for me, because the battle from Hawkfrost and Brambleclaw, that is one of the most tense and interesting scenes in all of the books. I will admit it didn't pull off the whole will Brambleclaw help or will he not help thing that I think they were trying to do, but just Hawkfrost himself and the things he did to get Brambleclaw his deputy position, and the descriptions of Firestar dying. It was all just like, it was just crazy. I was reading it and I was like, what? And then I remember at the end, Leafpaw, she comes over there or something, and she sees it, and she's like, the lake will run red. And I was like, oh my god, that's what she was talking about. It all made sense. It clicked, and I was very happy. The site, easily, probably, honestly, SS. Not even for any reason, but my personal enjoyment of the site. I loved it so much. I love the three. Like, they're my favorite set of protagonists. I really, really love the three. They're just so, for the first half, they're so whiny and annoying. For the second half, they're all just really cool. Lion Blaze is, I'll admit, not very interesting, but he does have funny moments. And Hollyleaf and Jayfeather are just some of the best cats in all of the series. The Jayfeather doesn't even need explaining. Everyone loves Jayfeather. Hollyleaf, I just loved her. Like, her bluntness, her hypocrisy, it was so fun to read about. And I loved pretty much any scene that those two were in. The site especially, just because it introduced them, and J-Paw was hilarious. I loved him, even though people were like, they're like, he was so mean to Brightheart. I thought that was so funny. I don't think it was supposed to be funny, but I just kept laughing. I don't know. She's trying so hard, and he's just like, you're not my mom. Scoff. Dark River. This is the one where Heatherpaw and Lionpaw meet, I think. So I'm gonna give it an A. Just cause. Oh, and I think it's also the one where they rescue the kits. That whole thing was really weird. Fourth grade me was struggling to keep up with that. I didn't really know what was happening. Or actually, no, fifth grade me, because, yeah, I started Power of 3 in the summer after fourth grade. So, yeah, fifth grade. Okay, Outcast. I hardly remember anything from Outcast. I'm pretty sure this is the one with the tribe, where they fight the cats. I'm going to give it a C. I didn't find this book very interesting. Okay, yeah, I'm kind of remembering. They go to the tribe and they fight this, like, problematic group of cats, and, like, there's Lion Blaze, he, like, murders one of them, and that's when he realizes he has powers, right? I will admit, that at the very end, when Jayfeather's like, I need to tell you two something, I was very hooked. I thought that was really, really cool. I was like, oh my god, that's the coolest way they could have done it. But, like, I was easy to impress. Now I realize, like, the cliffhanger with that is a little bit cheap. Like, because you're not gonna not get the next book with an ending like that. But it's not, like, bad, I don't think. It was just like, okay. Eclipse. This gets an S because reading the battle about the eclipse was just wonderful. I loved it. I loved it so much. I remember it really vividly. I read it and I was like, what is happening? It was really funny when they were all just like, the sun has been eaten. Just the Warrior Cats is so weird sometimes. Like, if you show someone the sun has been eaten, they're gonna be so confused. And I love Soul. I really like Soul. So, like, anything with Soul is, of course, gonna get a okay from me. And speaking of which, Long Shadows gets an A, because that's the one, I believe, where Jayfeather goes back in time. And I remember I liked that one. I liked Half Moon, although I don't like Half Moon now. Wait. No. I think that's Sign of the Moon. I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll come back to that. But yeah, Long Shadows, I think this is where he leads them to the tribe, right? Like, he does the tunnel thing like Fallen Leaves. Oh my god, it's been way too long since I've read these books. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that's what this is. This is the one where he becomes Jay's wing, and they're all at the lake, and he leads them to the tribe. Okay. Sunrise. This is gonna go straight in the F tier. Sunrise is one of my least favorite Warrior Cat books. It was a mess. I have hated it since pretty much I read it. Like, I couldn't follow it. The whole beginning is pointless. They go on a journey to find Soul, and then after an annoyingly long journey to first they interview people about Ashfur's death, then they go to find Soul, then they find Soul and Purdy and come back, then Soul leaves and nobody cares, and then like in the last few chapters Honeyfern dies, Hollyleaf goes insane, tries to kill Leafpool, find out Hollyleaf killed Ashfur, all this crazy stuff happens when you could have had it paced out a little bit better in the books, because like all at the same time Hollyleaf is at the same time Honeyfern is dying, Hollyleaf is going insane, Jay Feather is finding out who did what, Soul is being annoying. It just happens all at once after so much nothing. It's ridiculous. And the only good part is Purdy, and that's not true. I mean, I'm joking. Purdy is pretty great. I am glad Purdy comes back to the clans. But Hollyleaf going insane is one of the best things in all the books. I love it so much. But unfortunately, it can't save the circumstances it was in. Hollyleaf's meltdown could have been so much cooler if it wasn't so rushed. But, that's fine. The Fourth Apprentice, D. I don't have as strong a hatred for it as Sunrise, but it was boring. I could hardly bring my 5th grade self to read it, and I wasn't even paying attention at the time. I could not care less about that one River Clan cat that died. I just did not care was the biggest problem. Like, I didn't feel like the circumstances were... Not circumstances. That's not what I meant. I didn't feel like the stakes that I'm looking for. I didn't feel like the stakes were very high. I knew Lion Blaze and Dovepaw were way too important and special to die, so I didn't even care. And all the other cats that went were just throwaway cats. Like, I liked Whitetail, and I mean Tigerheart was there, and I do love Tigerheart, but yeah, I mean, I feel like it was not a strong opener to what was actually a really interesting series. So, yeah. Fading Echoes, A. Why? Because I like the battle for that one part of territory, the Shadow Clan one. Just Ivypaw convincing everyone to go on this fight for a stupid piece of territory nobody cares about. I loved it, and I don't even know why, but I did. And I remember just loving reading about it. And that's pretty much it. A lot of these are based on nostalgia because I can't entirely remember what actually happens. But Night Whispers gets an S because I love Flametail. He is my baby. I loved reading from Shadow Clan's perspective. A little bit annoying. It took so long for us to get it again, but we did. And still, Flametail is just... He's so good. I loved his chapters so much. Like, not even that much happens in Night Whispers, but I just loved his chapters. They were so good. They're underrated. More people should be talking about Flametail because he is just so good. And so is Dawnpelt and Tigerheart. I love those three. They're more interesting than some of our main characters at Brambleclaw. At Leafpool. Sign of the Moon. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sign of the Moon. Okay, this is going into the D tier as well, because Jay Feather is so out of character in this book. Like, okay, so Jay Feather, for his whole life, he's wanted to be normal. A warrior that can see and do things and not be treated differently. So he goes back in time and he meets Half Moon again. Half Moon, who he liked, Half Moon, who he would want to stay with forever. He's a normal warrior with a normal life, with a possible mate and maybe future kids. And then Rock is like, "Aight, Jay Feather, it's time to go." And Jay Feather's just like, "Okay." What? This is everything he's ever wanted. And this is Jay Feather. I mean, not even a moment's hesitation. He doesn't, and I guess he's just like, "Oh, I wonder what would happen if I'd stayed with Half Moon." But you could have. Jay Feather was, I don't understand why. It would have been so much cooler if Jay Feather wanted to stay, and then while he's there, he slowly starts to feel guilty, leaving behind Dovewing, Lionblaze, all of them. And then he goes back because he realizes that they need him more than the tribe needs him. And he puts aside that selfish part of him that we've been seeing a little bit since, Power of 3. But, that's fine. He can just do what other people tell him to right away. Because that's so Jay Feather, right? I literally can't read the name of this one. And I can't... Oh, The Forgotten Warrior. Sorry. I don't know the old covers. I started reading Warrior Cats in 2016. Like, from the beginning. So, literally all the all the covers were new. But, The Forgotten Warrior gets a C from me. Because I don't like Hollyleaf's reintroduction. I think that they should have just kept her alive. Or dead. Pick one. Don't bring her back and then kill her off. And she's totally different. Like, why would being by yourself... Okay, fallen leaves there. But why would being trapped in a cave away from everyone you love for like 6 months, maybe longer than that actually, I don't know. Why would that help? Wouldn't that make it worse? I guess maybe she was reflecting in there. But I don't get why she forgives everyone so quickly after her absolute breakdown. Like, she was not okay. She was furious. She tried to get her mom to kill herself. Like, that's not something you can just reflect over. But it's like, I do love Hollyleaf and Ivypool. I just love them so much. But, like, I'm just struggling to remember what even happens in this book besides Hollyleaf coming back. I don't know. I like Foxpaw and Icepaw a lot. That's not even related to this. That was a reason I liked whatever series they were growing up in. I can't even remember. Foxleaf dies in The Last Hope, and I'm still mad about it. Because I liked Foxleaf. Okay. Speaking of The Last Hope, this one's getting an A. Because it's the last hope. Like, the cats, when they have the final battle with the Dark Forest, it's ridiculous. It's outrageous. I love it. And there are some really interesting parts. Like, of course, Crowfeather, Lionblaze, Breezepelt, their whole deal. Leafpool was very irritating there. I wish she would have just shut her mouth. That's how I feel about Leafpool all the time, though. Hollyleaf, Foxleaf, Mousefur, Swirltail, Ferncloud, none of those cats deserve to die, and it made me really sad, but, of course, Mapleshade, Spotted Leaf, stuff like that was pretty neat. I was pretty glad to see that, and of course, who could forget the ultimate Firestar, Tigerstar battle, and Firestar's death, man, Firestar dying felt surreal. Like, it didn't feel right. Firestar being the 4th cat, no, that was ridiculous. And it would probably be S tier if Firestar wasn't the 4th cat. That was the worst plot twist they've ever tried to do. I can't believe they passed Firestar being the 4th cat. That was just, it was totally new in that book, wasn't it? Like, the 4th cat, the prophecy of the 4th cat was introduced and concluded in The Last Hope. Like, it feels like at the last minute they were like, oh my god, wait, we should kill Firestar. And then everyone was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. There was one part in The Last Hope that I love, though, where they're trying to figure out who the fourth cat is, and then Lineblaze is like, I think it's Cinderheart because she's my wife and she's special. And then Dumpling's like, I think it's Ivypool because she's my sister and she's special. And then Jay Feather's like, I think it's Mothwing because she's actually been trying to help us. I was so happy because I am a Mothwing stan. So seeing Mothwing get the appreciation she deserves, that made me happy. Okay, moving on. The Sun Trail, aka the only Dawn of the Clans book I've read. And I'm going to give it a B because I hardly remember anything about it. I'm going to reread it and then read the rest of Dawn of the Clans. But for now, I can't make a real opinion on it because I literally only remember the pregnant cat that died. Brightstream. Yeah, her. She died. And that was sad. I didn't like that she died. She was nice. The Apprentices Quest. The Apprentices Quest is gonna get A for me. Lots of A's. I love The Apprentices Quest. Sandstorm's death made me very upset the first time I read it. Alderheart, I love him. I was so mad at Bramblestar for the whole book. You know what? Bramblestar and Leafpool and Jay Feather. I was mad at all three of them for the whole book because Alderheart deserves better. Like, they gave up on him so quickly. He wasn't even a warrior for like 3 days before they were like, here you go, you can be a medicine cat now. Good job. But his quest to Sky Clan was good. I liked it. I liked reading about it. I liked seeing him happy. And the quest actually resulted in something being changed. Like, the quest didn't just do nothing. There was actual relevance to it. I liked that. And Needlepaw is the best part of the book. Like, I love Needlepaw so much. She's just so good. Needlepaw and Alderpaw, they really did have such good chemistry. Like, no wonder I thought they were going to get together when I first was reading these books. Okay, Thunder and Shadow. This one gets a... Thunder and Shadow was really good, but I think I'm going to go with S. Because Thunder and Shadow, it made me so sad. Like, I wanted to cry the whole time I read it. Violet Paw... When I first read these, when they were coming out, like, I read them as they came out. This was the first series where I read them as they were produced. And Thunder and Shadow, when I first read it, I was like, oh, poor Violet Paw. When I was rereading it a couple months ago, I was like, oh my god, poor Violet Paw. She was just neglected. She was miserable. She was desperate for attention. She was desperate for love. And Rowan Star was so awful to her. She didn't even do anything, and he, like, kicked her out. I love Violet Paw. I love Violet Shine. I love her. And all this mistreatment of my girl was very, very sad. Next, we've got Shattered Sky, which is SS. I mean, obviously. All of it, the battle with River Clan, that was also terrifying. I mean, just, like, it was cruel. It was awful. The Lungwort, I think that all happens in Shattered Sky. With everyone in Shadow Clan is dying, and Crystalfight and Puddleshine have to save them. Needletail's death is the best part of A Vision of Shadows. It broke my heart. I love Needletail so much. And just the whole thing with Sky Clan coming back and all of them teaming up to defeat Darktail and Darktail in 1 star. It was all just really good. Even if some of the execution was a bit wonky, I just adored this book. And when it came out, I was like, whoa. Darkest Night. That's gonna be a C for me. Because I was bored out of my mind. I hardly remember anything that happened in The Darkest Night. All I remember is that nothing happened. Like, did Tiger Star come back in Darkest Night? I think he did. That was like it. I don't know. He was being mean in Darkest Night. Or was that The Raging Storm? No, I don't remember. I think he was just mean in all three. But yeah, Darkest Night, nothing. Nothing for me. Honestly, it would have been a B if I don't remember being quite so bored. River of Fire is a B because I also don't remember much that happened in River of Fire. But River Clan with the fire, even though it did end up not mattering at all, was still sort of exciting to read about. And Twig Branch trying to save the people was pretty nice. I do love Twig Branch. And I think this is the book where Finleap and Twig Branch move clans, if I'm not wrong. And I did love that. I thought that was really sweet. Because that was before a certain book came along and ruined their relationship. But Twig Branch and Finleap pre The Raging Storm was adorable. Speaking of The Raging Storm, it's getting a D because it was boring. Tiger Star was making me mad, and I like Tiger Star, so I didn't like that. It's just everything about The Raging Storm was just making me mad all the time. Violet Shine and Tree were getting together, which was not what I wanted, although I did end up warming up to them. I will admit, I love Tree, I love Violet Shine. I didn't want them to get together at first, but then I was kind of like, okay. But Twig Branch and Finleap was so irritating. They tried to have like a side plot with Twig Branch and her apprentice, and it goes nowhere, and it's like totally skipped over. Like they start it, and then they just like, oh yeah, we did that, and like write a line real quick to just toss it out. Like this book, it was the Sky Clan leaving, and the Sky Clan leaving was okay. I liked that part. Puddleshine and Alderheart was also frustrating to read about because I knew Alderheart was right. Like, Alderheart was not going to kill Puddleshine. They wouldn't do that. Alderheart can't be a murderer. So the whole like, oh, Puddleshine doesn't seem to be getting any better. Oh, what if I'm not doing the right thing? And everyone being like, oh my goodness, you are killing him, Alderheart. Puddleshine is gonna die. You should be ashamed of yourself. I couldn't get behind it, cause like we saw the rabbit. Like and Tiger Star, he was so bad in this book. He was so mean and annoying, and he was awful. But I like Tigerheart. Tigerheart isn't mean. He's stupid. Like, he's an idiot, but he is not mean. Never is he mean. It was just, what? Why? Why is he being so rude? Why does he hate SkyClan? He has no reason to hate SkyClan. He's the one that spent, like, a whole book learning that other things are okay. He was the one that spent the whole book going to the place with, oh my god, now I can't remember, the guardian cats. He spent the whole book going to the guardian cats and learning that sometimes cats having a different lifestyle than you is okay. Then SkyClan comes and he's like, they can't stay here because they're different. What was the point of writing Tigerheart Shadow? It doesn't make sense to me. And I think it ruined a lot of what Tigerheart went through. Lost Stars gets an A from me. Lost Stars was better than the last half of Vision of Shadows. I really, really love Bristlefrost. I love Rootpaw. I love Shadowpaw, the characters. and their interactions really, really help this book, because not a lot happens in Lost Stars. Except for, Shadowpaw, I guess, but Rootpaw really doesn't do much of anything. He just, I don't know, gets teased and gets mad. The only thing he does is at the very end when he sees Bramblestar. And Bristlefrost's thing with Stemleaf, I loved it. I was loving it. And Rosepetal. I have been a Rosepetal stan since 2017. And if you don't believe me, I have proof. I had a Warrior Cats fan account called Official Rosepetal, and it's been around for a very long time. I have screenshots. And like, I'm so happy that she's talking and being a character that people care about. Because I had no reason to like her before, honestly. She was just Rosepetal. But now she's Rosepetal, and she's cool. And according to Rosepetal, she's like, I've been in your shoes, Bristlefrost. Like, who rejected, who rejected Rosepetal? Like, I want to know that. I really like Rosepetal. I'm sorry. That was a tangent. Okay. The Gray Stripes Adventure manga. I'm going to put them all as one because I don't remember what happens in each individual one. I'm honestly going to give it a C. Not because it was bad, but because I was... Oh, not that one. Because I was bored. I don't remember being very into the mangas. I've only read the Gray Stripe ones and the Scourge one, and the Gray Stripe ones were boring to me. Not much was happening. I knew they came back to the clans. I just wanted to see that. The whole beginning where Gray Stripe's like, ooh, I'm in cutie pet territory. And when they're in the car and they're like at the gas station or something, or as a mechanic, I don't know. It's when they find the cats. And the two legs are awful in it. And it was just like, but people don't spray the hose on cats that are walking by. It's just like, I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of the Gray Stripe ones. Rise of Scourge gets a B. Or actually no, an A. I can't bring myself to give it a B. Because there's nothing particularly special about it, but obviously what the fandom has done with it, with the information on Scourge, it's just totally changed the fandom's opinion on him. And like, Scourge wouldn't be the Mimi 2009 edgelord he is today without the Rise of Scourge. So honestly, it has to be an A. Okay, Hollyleaf Story. Hollyleaf Story gets a C. I didn't really like it that much. Is that the same picture? Oh my god, Hollyleaf Story and Sunrise have the same picture. Sorry, I never realized that. But oh my god, is it the same for Dovewing? It is the same for Dovewing. Whoa. Sorry, I just had a realization moment. Okay, anyways, Hollyleaf Story, I didn't like it that much. Hollyleaf and Fallen Leaves are fine. They're forced couple, they're fine. But they just, I don't know, I hate Hollyleaf's reintroduction. I can't stress that enough. I hate it so much. I wish they'd just kept her dead or kept her alive and the same as she was. Just pick one. Misty Star's Omen gets, honestly, a D. Because everyone was so mean to Mothwing. I really didn't want to read it. Because Misty Star is just being so ridiculous the whole time. Because it's like made over and over. The point is made. Willowshine's like, I can't do this without Mothwing. Over and over. She's like, we need Mothwing. And like, Mothwing is made out to be a good medicine cat. There's no reason to fire her. Or I guess not fire, to demote her or anything like that. Yet Misty Star does it anyway. And when she realizes she made a mistake, she doesn't fix it. She's too stubborn to give Mothwing her job back. Mothwing has to go on a super long, like, speech about how you don't need religion to be a good doctor. And it's at the end of the novella, like, after just everyone's being mean to Mothwing, except for Willowshine. And it just, I didn't like it. I really didn't. That's all they have to say. And I'm hoping that Mothwing's Secret handles it better. Cloudstar's Journey. I didn't read Cloudstar's Journey. I just realized that. Okay. Tiger Claw's Fury gets a D also. I didn't like it. I especially didn't like that Maple Shade was there. Felt like that was unnecessary. I haven't read Tiger Claw's Fury in a really long time, so it might be better than I'm giving it credit for. But Maple Shade was the only part I remember, and it was just, there was no reason for her to be there. Leafpool's Wish, F. Leafpool's Wish makes me so angry. It's the worst Warrior Cat book. Like, it is. Like, Sunrise, Spotleaf's Heart, they're bad. But Leafpool's Wish is the worst book. I hate Leafpool. I hate that everyone makes excuses for her. And I hate that every time Leafpool does something wrong, everyone else gets blamed. Squirrelflight, over and over, makes it clear that she does not want the 3. She doesn't want to take care of them. She doesn't want her reputation ruined. She doesn't want her trust with Brambleclaw broken. She does not want to bail her sister out of this when it's her mistake. Yet everybody in StarClan, like Feathertail, Yellowfang, they both float down from StarClan to be like, Squirrelflight, how selfish are you? This is your sister you're talking about. She has no responsibility for her sister. There's no reason she should have to take care of these kits. They're Leafpool's problem. Leafpool did it. Leafpool has to deal with the consequences. Squirrelflight does not have to deal with the consequences because she didn't take a mate from another clan. She didn't get pregnant as a medicine cat. She didn't run away from her responsibilities, and she didn't change her mind as soon as she did it. Leafpool is selfish. She's annoying. She's whiny. She keeps bringing it up with her sister, begging her, please help me with this situation I've gotten myself in. You have to help me because I said so. Stuff like that. It's just so infuriating. And Squirrelflight eventually, Feathertail literally like emotionally manipulates her. Feathertail's like, I feel like they're my kits. Don't you want to take care of my kits, Squirrelflight? And Feathertail is her dead friend. Like, Feathertail comes down from StarClan and she's like, oh, Feathertail! And Feathertail's like, oh my gosh, Squirrelflight, hey, it's been so long, hasn't it? Please take these babies for my sake. Avenge me. Avenge me, Squirrelflight, I'm your friend. It's like, so bad. And Yellowfang is like, you know, Squirrelflight, you can't have kittens, so this is your only chance. Which was apparently a lie if you've read A Vision of Shadows. I hate Leafpool's Wish. Okay. Dovewing's Silence, S tier, by far. I mean, it's heartbreaking, really, reading about Dovewing losing her senses. There's just, like, such a sense of hopelessness and being lost, confused. It doesn't feel like Dovewing anymore. But seeing her learn that she's not defined by her abilities to hear and see far away, talking with her mom about it, stuff like that was really nice. And there's little details that I do appreciate it. Like, I believe this is in Dovewing's Silence when Birchball is, like, trying to do something. Birchball's like, he wants to, I think they're burying the dead, and Birchball tries to help, and Dustpelt won't let him. His dad, Dustpelt, won't let him. He's like, because he fought for the Dark Forest at one point. Like, he trained in the Dark Forest. And it's just really heartbreaking. And the Breeze Pelt thing, when he's, like, getting away with it, and he's like, do you regret your actions? He's like, no. Like, he doesn't actually say that. He's like, of course I regret my actions, but it's like, and just, Breeze Pelt is funny to me. Like, I don't like him in the first ones, but he's funny. Like, the way he provokes Line Blaze and just provokes everyone. I love it. He's just a little emo kid. He's just seen. I I I love and I hate Breeze Pelt. But Dumpling Silence is really good, and it's kind of sad that so many people haven't read it because I feel like it is actually an important conclusion to The Last Hope. Maple Shade's Vengeance D. It's terribly executed. It should have been a super edition. Maple Shade's whole like super quick, crazy, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this and I'm not gonna think about it, I'm just gonna do things and murder is not in character, because in every other time, like Crooked Star's Promise, she's like, oh, Crooked Star, and she like plans out a whole manipulation for like his whole life. Like, that is not super quick, fast murder. And I guess I've seen people say that like because that's how she lived in her death, she kind of learned from it, and I guess that's plausible, but just still, everything in Maple Shade's Vengeance happens so quickly that it's kind of hard to tell what's going on sometimes, and her reasons for murdering the characters are a little bit weak. Like, I guess it makes sense that she murders Frecklewish because Frecklewish saw the kits die and didn't help. Like, that was terrible. I don't know why she did that, but Oakstar is also awful in this one, because everyone's an idiot in Maple Shade's Vengeance. Everyone's an idiot and is mean, like, including Maple Shade herself. Like, there's no smart people in the clans here. They kick out babies, like literal actual babies that I think they're not even like out of the nursery. Like, they're not allowed out of the nursery yet, I don't think. Or not out of the nursery, I meant out of the camp. Because kits aren't, I don't know why I said that. Kits aren't allowed out of camp anyways, but yeah, still, they're babies. Like, you can't kick out babies. It's against the warrior code because it says you can't bring any harm to kits. Like, but yeah, Maple Shade's Vengeance, not great, but it did inspire many good maps and memes and all sorts of warrior cat content. Maple Shade is obviously the queen of fan content, so I guess that's one thing I'm glad Maple Shade's Vengeance exists for. Goosefeather's Curse F. It was so frustrating to read. I felt so bad for him. Like, Goosefeather is just not treated correctly. Everyone is like, Goosefeather, you're insane. Or, Goosefeather, that's not true. Or, everything is up to you, Goosefeather. StarClan spews all these useless prophecies to him. There's no reason he needs to do this. There's no reason he needs this power. There's no reason he needs to be told all the prophecies. He's not even gonna live for half of these. Why are you telling him this? He can't do anything about it. He's not going to do anything about it. What's the point of telling this little kid? And they apprentice him early. Why do they apprentice him early? I don't know. There's no reason. Like, and then everyone hates him because he's being forced to be the special kid. And when he tries to reconcile, they're just like, go away, Goose Kid. No one likes you. Goosefeather's Curse is just unfair to Goosefeather. And in Blue Star's Prophecy, he seems insane, but no wonder. I mean, God, he deserves better. Ravenpaw's Farewell. B. It really bored me, but I loved, what's her name? Oh, no, I can't remember. Bella and Riley. I loved Bella and Riley. They were really good. And I also loved the line where it's like, are you and Barley gonna have kids? That was really funny also. But, Barley's death was sad. Or not Barley. Barley doesn't die. Ravenpaw dies, I meant. Ravenpaw's death was sad. And I can't believe Ravenpaw died before Barley. That's kind of crazy, but Barley wasn't really that old when Ravenpaw joined him, I guess, but still. Bella and Riley, they were really so good in this book. I loved them. But other than that, their whole thing going to SkyClan and stuff, I wasn't really all that invested. And it was kind of a stretch that Ravenpaw was able to go all the way there off of like a faint memory of what Firestar told him. Like, or maybe that's not right. I feel like that's the detail I remember it being, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Okay, this one has all three of these novellas put into one, but I've only read Spotted Leaf's Heart and Pine Star's Choice. Pine Star's Choice was boring to me, but we're going to put it on the F tier because Spotted Leaf's Heart deserves no forgiveness. Spotted Leaf's Heart is just a book about a literal, like, groomer, like Tiger Heart. I mean, Tiger Heart, no, not Tiger Heart, no, baby. I'm sorry. Thistleclaw. Thistleclaw is a pedophile. Like, he's a canon warrior cat's pedophile. This is a book about a, like, teenager being taken advantage of by a 40-year-old. And even the way they word it, he's like, do you really love me, Spotted Paw? And she's like, yeah. And he goes, prove it. And then he's like, meet me. Don't tell anyone you're meeting me. And you'll see what we'll be doing. He 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 he. Like, that, I don't understand how you could write that and be like, yep, that's good for kids. Yeah, Spotted Leaf's Heart was an absolute mistake. Firestar's Quest gets a B. It was good. I liked it. Actually, no, I'm moving it up because I like all the characters in it. I don't like Sandstorm and Firestar's thing, but other than that, I did like it. I like the characters, the kitty pets that joined SkyClan. They were all really great. I liked them. And I loved Smudge and Hattie. Smudge and Hattie were so good. Smudge and Hattie are together because I said so. Blue Star's Prophecy, D. It ruins Blue Star's character. I really don't like it. I don't like Blue Star in this book. It feels like a different cat than in all the other books. Or actually, no. It feels like a different cat than in the first series. Every appearance of Blue Star outside the first series is the same. And it's this whiny, annoying, selfish... Well, not, I guess not selfish. This whiny, annoying, sulky blue cat that just is all the time like complaining and being edgy, and it doesn't feel at all like the Blue Star that's the leader in Into the Wild. And there's no like gradual change in Blue Star's Prophecy. She's like that the whole time. It has been a while since I've read Blue Star's Prophecy, but from what I remember, that's how it was. It was just a little bit irritating. SkyClan's Destiny I've not read. Crooked Star's Promise. That's going to be a for me. Crooked Star's Promise is really good. I like Crooked Star. I like Rainflower. I like Shellheart. I like Oakheart. I like Maple Shade in this book. I like the conflict. It was just really good, this book. I don't really have that much to say. Crooked Star's Promise was a fun thing to read about. Yellowfang's Secret. That's going to have to be a C, because Yellowfang's Secret... Yellowfang is just forced to do all this stuff. Everything bad that happens to Yellowfang isn't even her fault. She's just given this curse from the moment she's born for no reason. That's the thing with these books. They give these cats powers. Why do they have powers? I don't know. Why can Yellowfang feel other cats' feelings? I don't know. Why does Goosefeather see StarClan? I don't know. Does it help at all in the long run? No, it literally does not. It just makes the cat's life miserable. Poor Yellowfang. And I liked the beginning when she was with Deerleap, and it was really sad seeing her try so hard to be herself, be a warrior, not give in to Sage Whisker being like, you have to be a medicine cat. Like, she doesn't give in right away. She tries so hard to keep being a warrior, but every single battle, she's feeling the wounds of all the other cats, and she can't fight when she feels like every single cat's injuries. So, she deserves better. Her whole thing with her son and her mate, it wasn't her fault. Like, none of it. And it makes me really sad because she deserves better. Tall Star's Revenge SS. It's the best super edition. It's so well written. It's really interesting. Tallstar and Jake, Tallstar and everybody, Tallstar himself is just so interesting. Watching him grow and learn, and watching Wind Clan and learning about the tunnelers and the Moor Runners, it's all so wonderfully executed, so wonderfully written, so interesting. I love all the characters. Um, it's just really, really, really good. Tallstar's Revenge. Like, it's hard to explain why it's so good. It just is. The morals and the growth and the whole setup, because the Moor Runners and the Tunnelers is like new. I mean, unless it's in Dawn of the Clans. I didn't read Dawn of the Clans, but for the most part, it's like new in Tallstar's Revenge. So it's really, really neat that they have this whole new setup, and they introduce it well, and they live in the actual place they introduced well. It's really cool. I'm bad at explaining things, especially when it comes to things that are so just well done, and you just have to read it, if that makes sense. Or you can watch To Nail Flowers, but I think it's more fun to read it. Bramblestar Storm S, because I have such good memories of reading it. Bramblestar Storm was just a delight. Jessie is one of my favorite cats in the whole series. Jessie was just wonderful. And I was honestly hoping Brambleclaw would get with Jessie, because Squirrelflight deserves better than Bramblestar. That's the tea. I loved Minty. I loved Stormcloud. I loved the whole flood. I loved every cat freaking out. Purdy was just so good. Everything was just good. And I was having so much fun reading Bramblestar Storm. And even though there were some sad parts, like Dustpelt's death, that was really, really sad. And I just loved the whole ThunderClan Bramblestar being like, should I go help ShadowClan or should I stay here? And I love that Bramblestar loses a life with one of the apprentices just falling on him. That was really funny. I think it was Seedpaw. And I think Seedpaw dies in that book also, and that was really sad. And their log with the memorials for the dead cats, that made me laugh. It shouldn't have, because the cats were dead and I was sad about that, but they made memorials warrior cat graves. It's not funny. I shouldn't be laughing at it, but I'm laughing anyways. I have not read Mothlight's Vision or Hawkwing's Journey, but I own them both and I intend to read them. I own all three of these books. Tigerheart's Shadow S, because I loved it. It was so good. Tigerheart's Shadow was a mess and I adored it. Tigerheart himself, I just love him. He's so stupid and self-righteous, and he's so good. I love him. He's like, oh, cats that are getting along fine? I have to fix this. And Dubwing's just like sitting there like, that's my husband. A lot of people hate Tigerheart, I know, but I can't bring myself to. He's just too ridiculous. Although I don't like him at all in A Vision of Shadows. I don't like how he is there, but I do like him more so far in Lost Stars, and I love him in Tigerheart's Shadow. It's so funny. Just his whole point of view, it's great. Tigerheart is great. Tigerheart and Dumpling are great. He's so stupid. I can't stress it to you enough. And I love his babies. I love the kits in Tigerheart's Shadow, and I love the guardian cats. It's so interesting. Even just like the little side things, like helping Dash. I loved reading that as well. You can tell that I've read this book really recently because I remember things like Dash. I read Tigerheart's Shadow like 2 months ago. It was good. I liked it. I really liked it, especially Spire Sight. Spiresight and Blaze and what's her name? Cinnamon. I loved them all. And I was really happy when I started Lost Stars right after finishing Daggerheart Shadow and seeing them in Shadow Clan. I was like, oh yeah, there they are. And I haven't gotten Crowfeather's Trial yet, so that's the end of my Warrior Cats tier list. So I hope that you liked it. I hope that I was interesting enough. I hope that you will comment your opinions. Maybe if you disagreed with me, maybe if you agreed with me, maybe if you think there's something I failed to mention, go ahead and let me know, please, because I love talking about these cat books. And yeah, thanks for watching.